Hello, assistants. May God bless you abundantly in the name of the Lord Jesus. Today, I won't be able to read a verse or two with you, but I would like to invite you for you to read later on by yourself Joshua chapter 22 from verse 10 until verse 34. But I'm going to give you a setting of what this was about, and I'm going to read the comments of Bishop Macedo here in the Bible. I've got his Bible here, or not his Bible, but the Bible of Bishop Macedo with his comments, because there's a very important lesson here. So here's the thing. After the people of Israel finally took possession of the promised land, Joshua was left with the task to divide the land between the tribes. And two and a half of the tribes, after they went to one of the sides there, they built a special altar. The Bible calls it a very special, a grand altar to God. And when other tribes heard that they had raised this special grand altar, they thought that they had built an altar for other gods. And they got really angry, they got really upset, and when they heard this, they gathered, leaders of different tribes and so on, and they went to meet these 2.5 tribes who were their own brothers. They had just fought together to overcome the enemies and take possession of the promised land. But they heard, listen, they're building an altar for another god, worshiping other gods, and they went there ready to start a fight. Let me read, you can read afterwards the verses, but I'm going to read here, and we're going to put on the screen the comments of Bishop Macedo. So he wrote like this: misunderstandings. Israel was ready to fight against the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. The other tribes believed that those 3 tribes had built an altar to a false god instead of the living God. Yet no blood had to be shed, as the nation discovered that those tribes were faithful to the Lord and had built the altar as a memorial to future generations. Misunderstandings lead many to great frustration. When good intentions are misunderstood, disappointments, strife, gossip, and bad feelings can happen. How many times have you seen or heard of situations where a member of the church, an assistant, had a disagreement with someone or started to build in their mind a suspicion about something, or developing some kind of anger towards someone because they heard something, they sort of perceived something? We have to be very careful with this, because when all the tribes came to see these 2.5 tribes, and that they had actually built an altar to God, to the living God, to the right and only God, and they saw it was only a misunderstanding. But if they had arrived there without giving them a chance to explain themselves, there would have been innocent blood shed. And many times we are very unfair, because we build inside of our mind a false idea that someone may be a certain way, or that they don't like us, or that they don't favor us, or that they spoke about us, or any of these things, and they are pure speculation. They're not true, because the person starts to make up a soap opera, a drama movie in their mind based on something that they heard or they thought, they perceived. Be very careful. Misunderstandings can lead to big problems. Many today, they are full of grudges, hatred. Their spiritual eyes are darkened. Remember, the Lord Jesus says that if your eyes are evil, your whole body, your whole life will be dark, full of darkness. And many today are full of darkness. Why? because they developed a thought against someone that wasn't true without knowing all the facts, without knowing what really happened. And even if they knew all the facts, we have to be able to be patient with our brothers and sisters of faith, to be to have good eyes towards them. Be careful, because sometimes innocent blood is shed because of misconceptions and misunderstandings. And perhaps you're not going to shed blood, innocent blood, but perhaps in your mind you develop something evil towards someone who does the work of God with you, who on a Sunday morning stands there in the uniform with you in the church, because you developed a wrong idea of that person. How many times, I've lost count how many times people came to me and said, "Bishop, you were talking about me in the service." You were talking about me in the service. And we're surprised about this. No, wait, what? But the person built a misconception, a misunderstanding, because of how they perceived something. So if you're not sure about something, if you're, trying to build this drama movie in your mind of something that you're not sure, you have two options. Either go to the person and make sure, and they will clarify, because perhaps that was all in your mind, or let it go. Perhaps the second option is the best. Let it go. Because if you're going to have to go and check with everybody that you think they may have spoken about you or thought about you or whatever, then you're not going to do anything else with your life. Every day, every week, you're going to have to go to someone. "Hey, did you speak about me? Hey, was that the way you looked at me? Was it about this? Was it about that?" Second option is best. Let it go. Learn to let it go and move on with your life, and not worry about what people think about you or say about you, or let go of the drama. Stop being a Hollywood director and direct a drama in your mind that sometimes doesn't exist. Be happy serving your God. Be happy serving the altar of your God, and the rest doesn't really matter. Be good to yourself, and later today read Joshua, the chapter we mentioned here, from verse 10 to verse 34. If this message helped you, pass it along to an assistant, pass it along to a member. I'm sure that there will be benefit in them hearing this message. God bless you. Bye-bye.